Lastly, yeah, let's talk about Chris Gibb, because I've not touched on this yet. And it happened a couple of weeks ago, I know, but there's a few things going on here. So firstly, Chris Gibb was fired for publishing his vision for rolling stock, an alternative vision for the trains that will run on High Speed 2 when it opens in some form at some point, because the reset is going really well. More on that in a second. He was fired from his role at the DFTO, the Department for Transport Operator. I think he was like a board member or the kind of exec board, some position that's kind of fairly arbitrary, but he was an advisor essentially to the DFTO. Now, I don't agree necessarily with much of what was being said by Chris Gibb in his actual specifics of his vision. Tilting trains are dead. There's no value in kind of doing those. The Pendolinos are near end of life. Go look at a lot of what Chris Howe, Rail Media, has been saying on this stuff. A lot of good detail. But what I think Chris is absolutely rightly pointing out is the complete incoherence of government's current proposals around rolling stock, which is why he got the chop, because it's extremely embarrassing that he pointed them out. They are incoherent. Who gave him the push? I don't know. I don't know if it was necessarily Hendy, although obviously there have been a few people suggesting that it might well have been, given his previous form. I don't know if that's the case. DFTO is not necessarily Hendy's bag. Was it Haynes? I don't know. Was it? I don't know who it was. Anyone who's got any intel on that, I'd be fascinated to actually understand that. But it is a pretty unceremonious ending to Chris's. Well, it's not really the end of his career, but it's a bit of an unceremonious dumping, and it's made the industry extremely pissed off, both publicly and even more so behind closed doors. I wish there was more publicly and less behind closed doors, frankly, but I've been there. I know what the rail industry is like. And actually, Chris is part of that in a way, because he's been very meek, bless him, in his he's been very playing it by the, doing everything right rather than saying exactly what the hell has happened and kicking things over. I've not watched the Green Signals interview, but if there's anything interesting that came out of that, do tell me. But I suspect not, frankly, because Chris is being a good lad, and entirely establishmentarian and not really saying very much other than, well, it's a shame I can't really talk about that, and I've been committed to certain things I'm not going to tell you. It's like, no, just spit bars, brother. Tell us everything, because they don't care about you. Why should you care about them back? And ultimately, the rail industry doesn't, the importance of the railways to Britain doesn't care about your NDA, and you shouldn't care about your NDA either. So, yeah, it'd be nice to learn a bit more. Meanwhile, I should say, the details of the train mess is the fact that we have still got, firstly, the contract for the trains is a shambles, because it bears no relevance to the railway that's being built now. Secondly, the trains that are going to be able to run are going to be way shorter than the Pendolinos, resulting in a massive reduction in capacity. Reminder, HS2 is currently being built. It's going to massively reduce capacity across the board, whether it's on the existing network or on HS2 itself. It's just what a shambles. Amidst all this, of course, is the Great Reset happening. This government loves a reset. It's currently doing another one in the midst of collapsing, but more on that in a second. This reset is supposedly going to re-baseline the project, being led by Mark Wilde, who is, of course, a... that reset is turning out to be a hugely wasteful debacle, achieving nothing at this point. I suspect it might bring down yet another senior railway leader all too soon, not soon enough, frankly. So that's all going on. HS2, it's going great. I've collected a whole bunch of HS2 news pieces I was going to do as a bit of an HS2 episode, so perhaps that's one we'll pick up later. But there's a lot and nothing going on when it comes to HS2 at the moment, which is why I've not been talking a huge amount about it, because it's lots of people arguing over very little, frankly.